Okay. The table shows Gillian's net worth. Assets are shown as positive numbers and liabilities are shown as negative numbers. So based on the information in the table, what is Gillian's net worth? So basically, yesterday they gave you the actual total assets and total liabilities. Now you have to find how much is the assets and how much are the liabilities. Now if you notice, all the liabilities have what? A negative sign. And sometimes that's what they'll do. They'll show you negative signs. They won't show them to you all the time, but most of the time they will. So all we have to do is add up all the positives, then add up all the negatives, and then subtract them and see what the Gillian's net worth is. So let's go ahead and do that. So the assets, we're going to start with the assets. So assets are going to be... Which ones? Which ones are the assets?
The ones that are positive.
Okay, so you have 87,900 plus 950 plus 10,300 plus 5,000 plus whatever they have on the saving, which is 2,450. Okay, so when we add those, 0, 0, 1, that's 19, 22, 26, 2. So that's 9 plus 5, 14, 15, 16. And then we have 8, 9, 10. So right now his assets are 106,600. So now let's go ahead and do liabilities. Okay, so the liabilities are 2,650, 12,250, and 1,200. So that's 0. 5 plus 5 is 10. Carry the 1. 6 plus 2 is 8, 9, 10, 11. 2, 4, 6, and then 1. So that's negative 16,100. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. Yes? Okay, and now all we have to do is subtract them. So that's 0, 0, 5. 6 minus 6 is 0. 10 minus 1 is 9. Right? Yes. So the net worth is 90,500. So basically, that's all you need to do. Make sure you're looking for those symbols. If they wouldn't have told us what were liabilities by showing negatives, you could have easily seen that credit cards is a liability, student loans is a liability, and personal loans are liabilities. So just looking at the name of the account should tell you if it's a liability or asset. So let's go ahead and do the second one. The second one says, set A represents rational numbers, set B represents integer. Which diagram shows the numbers placed in the correct set? So A, we said it was rational numbers, right? So, and B is integers. So let's see A. Is 3.1 a rational number? Yes. Is 1/10 a rational number? Yes. Is -2 an integer? Yes. Okay, so that looks like it's okay. Let's look at the next one. In set A, is -10/2 a rational number?
Wait, no.
No, it's what? Doesn't that equal to -5? So because it's a -5, that should be in here. Okay, how about -3/8? Is that a rational number? Yes. A -3/8 is a rational number. Remember, rational numbers are fractions, decimals, and percents. And then set B, you have a -6 and 8/10. Is that a integer? No, that should be out here, not in the set B. So that means the correct diagram is letter A. And usually you'll have 4 that you have to check, but we only put in 2. So any questions on either one of those examples or problems? Nope. Okay. Okay, so we're going to continue with simple interest. This is just an example of what we've been doing, but we're including one extra step, like we always do every time we do another day of the same thing. In this one, in the first one, you're not seeing anything different than what we've been doing, but in the other examples that we're going to do, we're missing other parts, not just the interest. So we still use the same formula. So let's go ahead and start by writing that formula. So interest equals PRT, which is principal times rate times time. So let's go ahead and read the problem. It says Eagle A, yes, Miss Solis writes this. Eagle A would deposit $1,500 in an account that earns 8% simple interest rate. The deposit will be made on the same day and no additional money will be deposited or withdrawn from the account. What is the balance of Eagle A's account at the end of 3 years? So we know that the principal is going to be $1,500. The rate is 8%, but we have to change it to a decimal, so that's going to be what? 0.08. And then the time is 3 years. Do we need to convert those? No, because it's in years already. So then all we have to do is substitute what we know. Okay, and that's a key word. So we don't know. Principal we know, which is 1,500. Then we have our rate, which is 800s. And then we have our time, which is 3 years. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and multiply. So I could multiply 8 times 3. What's 8 times 3? 24. But remember, you have 2 decimal place values, so that's going to be 0.24. So now all I have to do is multiply. And what I usually do, I put the zeros on the side and then multiply what we have. And I usually just leave them on the side. So 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 2 is 6. Add a 0, do the 2. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 1 plus 1 is 3. Now we go ahead and add it up. So that's 0, 0, 0, 6, and 3. So now we go ahead and have 1, 2 decimal places. So I have 1, 2 decimal places. So my answer is $360. But that's the interest. What did they ask us for? The balance. So the balance, remember, all you have to do is add the principal, which is here, and the interest. So let's go ahead and do that. So 1,500 plus 360. So my answer is going to be $1,860. So Eagle A's balance in her account would be $1,860. So like I said, the one that we just did is the regular one. Now in this case, if you look, now they're giving us the interest, but it's missing either the principal, the time, or the rate. And we still use the formula I equals principal times rate times time. Okay, so let's go ahead and write our formula. Always, always write the formula. That way you know what you need. You guys have the habit of not writing the formula. So we know what interest is, so I'm going to go ahead and put 600. We know what the principal is? No, so I'm just leaving the letter P. Do we note the rate? Yeah, but remember the rate has to be in what? Decimal 4, so that's going to be what? 0.04. And then it's 5 years. So I'm going to go ahead and write 600 because I could multiply 400s times 5. And that would be what? Point what? 0.20. Okay, now we have an equation here. So what do I need to do in order to solve this? Divide by 0.20. Okay, so remember, because we are dividing with a decimal, we have to write it as 600 divided by 0.20. And what do we do with a decimal? Kick the ball to the wall. And here, we have it here, so it's kick the ball to the wall and bring it straight up. Okay, so we add those zeros. Now 20 into 60. 3 times, so that's 60, remainder 0. So that means I have, what's the principal? 3,000. Remember, you have to fill in those zeros all the way till the decimal. And remember, you do have place values, so make sure you fill in those zeros for all the place values. So that means my principal was $3,000. Okay, let's try the next one. Next one, same thing. We have interest equals principal, rate, and time. Okay, the interest is $150. The principal is $2,000. The rate again needs to be in decimal form, so that's going to be point what? 0.025. So you're multiplying that 0.025. And then the time is, we don't know, right? So let's go ahead and multiply 2,000 times 0.025. Well, what's 25 times 2? 50, right? So then I have the zeros at the end. How many zeros did I have here? How many zeros? Yeah, point. We had 3 of them, so we have to have it here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now I have 150 is equal to 50 times t. Now what do? Divide by 50. So 150 divided by 50, 3 times. So that means, what was the time? 3 years. So far, so good, right? Okay. Okay, let's go to the last one. And the last one, now we're finding the rate. Okay, so we still use the formula, interest equals principal, rate, and time. Okay, the interest is 3,600. The principal is 15,000. The rate we don't know, so I'm just going to put R. And the time is 48 months. But can I use 48 months? What do I need to do? So how many years is 48 months? 4 years. So then times 4. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue this. So it's 3,600. What's 15,000 times 4? Or what's 15 times 4? 60, and then you're adding the zeros at the end. Okay, now that's 60,000 R. Now I have to do what? Divide it. So I'm going to go ahead and do 3,600 divided by 60,000. Now, I could eliminate zeros, right? Because that helps me. So, because I had 2 zeros inside, I have 2 zeros outside. So now it's going to be 36 divided by 600. So can I do that? No. I have to add a decimal and 0. So how many times does 600 go into 360? I can't do that either, right? So that means I need to add another 0. So 600 into 3,600. 6, right? So my rate is 0.6, but usually don't they give us the rate in percent form? So then that will equal to what? 6%. Because now you're converting a decimal to a percent, so you need to move the decimal place to the right now. So that means my rate was 6%. So pretty simple, because all you have to do is make sure you're writing out the formula, filling in or substitute what you know, and then solving for whatever is missing. Any questions on how to do this? Okay, so you do have an assignment. This assignment is simple interest, and it will have missing parts, but it also will have finding interest rate, or the interest that you're getting paid or you owe. So make sure you do this and then turn it in when you're done. Also make sure you finish yesterday's assignment and the day before's assignment before you start this one. Okay, go ahead and get started.